Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the market update. This stream is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need to make money in crypto and you need a roadmap in crypto, then subscribe to this channel. If you want to be notified when we do our live streams, turn on the alerts bell. And of course, if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. All right, let's check to see who's first on the show here. We have London, Baltimore, Delaware. All right, Taz, hi, first on the stream. Aiken, Silent Sandal, Flipped Burger, welcome. Okay, we have Bruno, Valerie. All right, we have Angela on the stream as well. Let's give people a few more minutes. So, notice we got a little bit of green going on in this market, huh? Talking about license to speculate last week. Nobody listened except you smart people. Appreciate you being on the show. We have England, Manchester, Qatar, Poland, Norway, Devon, UK. All right. Didon Enterprises loves Token Metrics. Don Jackson, we appreciate that. All right. More people from Poland and we appreciate it. Yeah. We got green, right? International Space Station, Halifax, UK, and Belgium. Welcome. Let's earn some money, people. Right on. All right. We have SOLANA. Hello from Potato Land. India, Amsterdam, welcome. Waynesville, North Carolina. Dallas in the house. All right, people. Let's jump in to your market update. It's a very old format, but I think I can from the children's book, The Little Engine That Could. That would be the entire altcoin market. Just as a reminder, after the Federal Reserve, I helped everyone see that the printing press is still on. And it was a license to speculate because people were too bearish. Everybody gave up, focused on fear instead of reality. Now, there will be a time to get bearish, but that makes now all the more important, right? If you're going to make money in crypto, you got to do it now. Do it. Okay, let's talk about Russell 2000. You're like, what? Yes, Russell 2000. What's that? Well, it's kind of like an index of the altcoins of the stock market. In other words, half of the Russell 2000, okay, you could say are poo coins that don't have any earnings. Literally. They're companies that, are still growing. That's why they're kind of like altcoins. So obviously Russell 2000 went from 2,400 to 1920, kind of like fell out of bed. Everybody thought it was going to zero, right? And as it turns out, it's actually breaking back into an expanding range. So sometimes when you have a false breakdown, we're going to be talking about this a lot throughout the entire stream. When you have a false breakdown below the bottom, you could actually turn around and attack the top. Could you imagine what would happen if speculative stocks retested their highs? Where's the metaverse going to be? Where's ETH? Where's Solana going to be if that happens? Think about it. VIX, fear in legacy, still too damn high. right? I mean, 25 was kind of the inflection point. There were some spikes over the last year above that. But look, people are afraid. Now, yes, I know Putin is scary, right? But, there are a lot of reasons to not like Putin, but I don't know. I mean, is the world going to end if he makes a small military action? Well, I don't know, right? But should VIX be at 25, right? The Fed's going to raise interest rates. We know that. They should. Inflation's high. The Fed doing its job is a good thing. Meanwhile, the printing press is still on. So what's with VIX at 25? It's still too high. Too much fear equals room to go up, right? Be greedy when everyone's fearful. Be fearful when everyone's greedy. ARK, ARKK, unquestionably the altcoins of the stock market. Everyone hates it. It is a bowling ball falling out of a window long term. Short term, everyone's too bearish. Everyone gave up. 67 was a support point. 72 was support. Huge squeeze yesterday. Now they're buying the dip. Okay. So I suspect there are shorts in this thing that are going to get punished in February, right? They may try to hit it one more time, but folks, nothing goes straight down. Okay. License to speculate, and there's going to be pain for short sellers over there, even if they wind up being right out October of this year. Now let's talk about ETH. Okay. Not a lot to talk about lately, but ETH broke down out of the bottom of kind of an expanding cone, right? 2,800, 2,900 is resistance. So obviously, if that happened, that would be delightful. I don't know that you necessarily want to go buying ETH below the resistance. Okay, it probably would be more of a buy if they took out 3,000. But ETH has got a creeping bid to it. And that's probably because NFTs in the metaverse space they're just going up every day. So, ETH isn't going to go down if, the altcoin space is just going up every day. Now, you might get a dip, but, ETH looks okay to me. Right? Just a reminder about the metaverse from yesterday. This is ETH from 2019. On the left, ETH goes up a lot. Then on the right, ETH from July of 2019 to early 2020 crashes, right? So when you have something new, back then it was DeFi, right? It can go way up. Everyone gets bullish. Everyone goes crazy. Everyone FOMOs in. And then it crashes. And then after it crashes, everyone's wrecked. No one has any cash left, unfortunately, or everyone pukes everything out and rage quits on Twitter. And then what does it do? It goes up massively, right? ETH bottomed at 120 and topped at 4,000. Right? So imagine if that happens in the metaverse. Solana, AVAX, right? This stuff's been destroyed. License to speculate. Very proud of this, right? I'm glad only a few people watched it. I'm glad, seriously. Because if 25,000 people watched it, it probably would be wrong. So I love y'all on the stream and loved anybody out there who watched it. But the bottom line is speculation is back. No one gets it though. All right. One of the reasons why the metaverse is moving is Facebook has an earnings conference call on Wednesday. So this is tricky, right? Hey, the market is buying everything in the metaverse in front of the announcement. So it may be buy the rumor, sell the news. So that may be your metaverse dip. Paying up and buying stuff up 20% has not worked. It hasn't. Okay. So if there's a dip on Wednesday or Thursday, then that's something to look at. There may be another dip in February around the 8th. But if there are dips, you got to get involved. If news like this comes out and there is no dip, then you may have to start aping in to things like Solana or Metaverse coins, right? You've got Mana and Sandbox down on the day as of this recording. You have to be active and thinking on down days in a lot of these coins. Okay, Galaxy Digital hedge fund, stock of my favorite hedge fund from Mike Novogratz. It's got a nice perky bid to it, right? Reminds me of the last time Galaxy bottomed back in October. Almost the same candlestick formation, right? The third green candlestick, you got 1 day for a dip, and then it was off to the races. It feels very similar to me, right? If you get a dip or a profit-taking rally off Facebook tomorrow, or you get any gyrations next week off geopolitics, these are opportunities to get involved. All right, so not investment advice, but we're moving over into Bitcoin miners. So Bitcoin hasn't done much, but there's a kind of a formation going on around in crypto, right? Use a linear regression band, right? 250 days, just really noticing that, like everyone loved, like this Bitcoin mining stock back in March, and everyone was wild about it in November, right? At 80, and now at 20, no one likes it. Come on, right? How much room does this stuff have to go up? It could fill a gap at 40. Cosmos, remember Cosmos? Hey, kind of never went down, right? Never went down, going sideways. And this thing just hit support at 25. And I'm wondering if this and near are just going to absolutely sneak up on people. One of the things you got to be careful of in this market, don't get caught sleeping, right? It's really easy to go through your watch list and go, ooh, look, this is up 10% today. Wait a minute. You don't want to buy the thing up 10%. Well, you might, but you want to buy the thing that's just sort of sitting there. Because what I'm noticing is things sit, they bore people, and then they go up 40%, right? So if you got good fundamental work like we do on Atom and Near, not investment advice, but, I don't see any reason why Atom can't be at 40 or 52, especially if this rally is going to last the entire month. 30 days or 45 days in crypto is an eternity. And Metaverse and NFTs, I think, could go up until May, even if stocks top, as long as they don't crash. Now, in May or late April, you definitely want to be out. But that's a long way off, right? If the Metaverse and NFTs are like DeFi, and they're going to go back to their highs or make new highs, then you got to get involved now, right? License to speculate. LFG, NFA, BTFD, right? Okay, looks rare. Talked about this yesterday. Got the hint on this from where? The private Telegram group on tokenmetrics.com, where everybody is making everybody else smarter, including me, right? Looks rare, is hanging out, was doing well yesterday, kind of came off a little, but is now at 540. And if it breaks out, it can go to 710. All right. NFT volume is picking up. Metaverse Index token, right? So this is MVI, I believe, right, on Uniswap, the Metaverse Token Index, or the Metaverse Index token. Sorry, right? Gee, it's at 152, and the high was 360. And it's down today. Sushi. Man, what I wouldn't give to see me a rally in sushi. Just cannot believe how destroyed this is. Seriously. Just cannot believe it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, there's Sushi, Aave, Yearn Finance, Chainlink, I don't think so. I'm sorry. Now, maybe I don't have the right coin picks. That's possible. But I mean, God almighty, this thing's sitting at 4 and it's been here for like 10 days. It's just wearing everybody out, right? But look how it sits on this trend line, right? Kind of drew up, getting a little artsy and crafty with my trend lines, right? Solana. Oh, Solana, we got on this, right? Soon as this thing took out 100, it was gone. If it takes out 117, it's going to 200. Remember, Kraken's research group, they think Solana is going to 600, according to a report that I've read in the last 2 months. Solana is a big NFT platform, right? So if people like Solana at 220, I can't believe people don't like Solana now, right? Also, if Solana gets back inside this linear regression band, there's no reason why it can't go back to the top, which would mean a new high, right? Okay, Axie Infinity, another dead coin, right? Well, I don't know. Okay, I mean, back in October, November at 160, it was going up forever. And now at 46, it's dead. Now, I know that there was some negative announcements on this. I get it, right? Now, for anybody, I see people coming in, taking positions, right? Again, not investment advice. And we appreciate you having faith in our work, but always remember, use a stop, right? Especially in these coins that you can get on centralized exchanges. Anyway, in Axie, right? Metaverse, NFTs hasn't moved yet, right? Because that's the game. The game in the early stages of a bull market is to find stuff that hasn't moved yet, that has moved in the past, right? And ask yourself, what's changed? Okay, Telos talked all about this yesterday on the live stream. Our AI is all over this, okay? We're all over it, okay? And it's up 15% today and may go to $1.40. Okay, this is Elliott Wave, a series of 1s and 2s. So start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. That usually is a prelude to much higher prices. Or an Elliott Wave term, it's a 3-wave. All right? Now, don't worry. We got guys asking for Render, Luna, Gala, Phantom. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. Tony C., what about Cosmos? We just did it. We're thinking it's on support, ready to move. Avalanche. Avalanche. Okay, another coin given up for dead. I don't think so. You know what? I don't think so. This is market cap, okay? But I think Avalanche has a real shot to recover. Now, you got to think to yourself, what happens in the next 2 days if Bitcoin does nothing and all these layer ones start moving at once? All right? Okay, so Rosa, right on time, asking about Illuvium. I'll give it to you straight. I think this is breaking out, right? I think the bump and run, or the small bump and run off a trend line that I drew, it's a little outside the box at 563. You know what? This thing was at 1,000 at the start of the year. Do I have to say anything more? Cube. Okay, not investment advice, but the green candlestick off that trend line yesterday, right where that arrow is, I don't know. Cube was at 24 in November. Now it's at 7. Everyone loved it back then, and now everyone hates it. Doesn't make any sense. It's like if you think bullish and you think license to speculate, right? OG wants to go over Helium and VeChain. Okay, I will try to get to all of these coins at the end. All right, Wild Metaverse still holding support and moving. This has got a lot of support from smart people on crypto Twitter. Engine Coin, okay, again, coming back inside of a linear regression band. Chainlink is not dead, in my opinion. right? I mean, I had guys on the stream, they're like, oh my God, Chainlink is wrecked. And it looked wrecked, right? It went to 15 and it looked like it was just going to die down there, right? The Chainlink graveyard. No, I don't think so, folks. I mean, when you have like kind of a bull market that's sleeping on people, it moves in sectors. So we started with like Sandbox, and then that moved over into like Remark, Render, and Vulcan, right? Now it's starting to bubble into Solana. Near's next, right? And I got to think ETH and DeFi could come along, right? Whether you get dips or not. Part of the pain trade here, I hate to say this to a retail audience, part of the pain trade here may be that you don't get the dips. Now, that doesn't mean FOMO and it's something up 20%, but you just have to be cognizant of how far some of this stuff is off its high. Okay, now, try not to fall over. XRP. Now, Bruno's looking at Kusama and DOT. I've got that coming up, so don't worry. Flipped Burger from Kentucky is also here. And I know Marco is interested in Elrond, but let's do XRP first. You know what? I saw XRP in one of our AI indices this morning. I was like, oh my God. I called our quant department. I was like, hey man, can you tell me what happened the last time XRP showed up in our indices? And he's like, I'll look at it. So I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this chart, and I'm like, all right, this doesn't look amazing, but obviously people are buying the dip below 60 cents in XRP. And now it's starting to go green, meaning it went down, and now people are interested in paying higher prices. Now, of course, it's not some raging breakout, but if XRP continues to show up in our indices on tokenmetrics.com, then what happens if there's an XRP news announcement? What happens if our AI is picking up something in the price action, right? Interesting, right? Okay, Ecomi, we talked about this yesterday. Now, Near, okay, really nice candlestick coming off $10. Okay, I still think this has enormous potential. Now, everybody knows that, so it hasn't taken off yet. This is exactly what we went through in Near between 6 and 9. Everybody knew it was going up, not investment advice. The market just, back then they shook everybody out. Now what they're doing is boring everyone to death, right? Okay, XYZ, low cap NFT coins, the top rated NFT coin in the sector in the sector ratings on tokenmetrics.com. Okay, so that's how I found XYZ. Lo and behold, it's up 14% today. Okay, so it's not necessarily the idea you chase XYZ, although it could be starting an uptrend because it's a super low cap coin. The point is that our AI is picking up on stuff that's moving in the NFT and Metaverse, right? Sectors. Okay, Nftx, another highly rated NFT coin, possibly starting to break out above a trend line that has absolutely crushed this coin going way back, right? So it failed here July, August, September, right? January. Yo, man, this thing breaks out. Do not underestimate art. So don't think about NFTs and Metaverse as gambling coins, even though they are, and NFTs too. I know, but we're scoring these NFTs now. So customers got that in that newsletter 2 days ago. And the point is, if people want to speculate, they're going to speculate somewhere where they may not necessarily get killed if stocks blow up. Now, that's probably not tokens, but that may apply to art. That could apply to NFTs, not investment advice. That's why these NFT and Metaverse coins are starting to take off. Okay, Kusama, right? Started at 280, went to 168, and now no one's interested. But there's like a green candle. Back in equities in 2009, after the great Lehman crash. I'll never forget one of our strategists, he called it green shoots, meaning the forest burned down and there were little green plants starting to pop up out of the ash in the soil. Green shoots, they're called. Kusama has got green shoots. Polkadot's green shoots look better because Polkadot's been making a base for 10 days, and I don't see any reason why Polkadot can't go to 31. This whole layer zero connectivity trade, yo, everybody walked away from this narrative. Why? Right? Well, I don't know, because they got all negative about the Fed and geopolitics. I get that. But the thing is, folks, if you want to be a value investor, if you want to get in on a bull market, you don't buy Polkadot at 47, you buy Polkadot at 19, not investment advice, right? Okay, Vulcan, breaking all kinds of trend lines, right? This is turning into a momentum play. It was a momentum play the first time. Probably 17.5 is next. Okay, I know you got transaction costs in this, so you really got to think about paying up, right? You got to think about that for your own risk management, right? Like if you bought it at $13.60, right, with an $80 gas fee, how would you feel if it dipped below 12.5? Okay, you have to search your own soul about these momentum plays once they get going. Now, that said, you could also say the flip side is, who gives a shit, right? It's at 13 and its high was 42. That's one attitude to take because, again, you're a lot closer to the bottom than you are at the top. Okay, Aave, again, Aave was at 335 back in November. And the SEC is what? Going to kill all of DeFi? Aave, Sushi, and Rune are rooted overseas, right? They are least likely to get hurt by regulation. Now, have they fixed their tokenomics? I don't know. I'm suspecting Yearn has. I'm suspecting that they're trying to do something with synthetics, right? But I just can't help but think that these coins are eventually going to have their day. And like these other sectors, it's a slow-moving breakout. Speaking of slow-moving, Matic loves to lull everyone to sleep. It did it at 80 cents. It did it at $1.40, and it's doing it again at $1.60. I'm beginning to wonder, based on this, the Elliott wave count, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. You do that 3 times, okay, the next rally could be massive. All right, at $2.80, everyone was talking about Matic being a top 5 coin. Now no one's talking about it, right? So I want to bring this message to friends like, Colleen Miller in San Francisco, want to welcome them to the stream, right? Why doesn't anyone comment on Algorand? Good question. I looked at it before the stream. I didn't put the chart in, but if Algorand pops above $1, I really want to see bulls take control. Folks, don't underestimate what these layer 1 protocols could do if this NFT and metaverse narrative takes off, right? If they miss the metaverse tokens, they may turn around and start buying any big cap layer 1, right? That's connected to any of these other trades. Okay, here's Near. We talked about that. Gala Games. Got a couple guys on the stream always asking about Gala. Okay, I know someone's asking for SYS. I promise I will try to get to that. Okay, Gala, okay, looks like it's breaking out. I notice has kind of a valuation issue, all right? But no one cares about valuation when it's at its low. You worry about valuation. You don't worry about valuation at 20 cents. You worry about valuation at 60 cents, not investment advice, okay? So I don't want you to be a wild man, but I'm trying to instill this like bullish, LFG, BTFD type of thought process, because in equities, when you have these like slow rolling breakouts, you get dips on bad news or profit taking. You got to get involved and take some of that. All right. What's the deal with Telos? Well, I don't have the fundamental deal. Okay. But I know our AI is really into it. Okay. Now let's just see what people are saying on the stream so I can, keep you all going and get engaged. Okay. Oasis Protocol, that's Rose. Our fundamental guys totally dig that. Not investment advice, right? Always Explicit says, no way, I joined late and watched 2x the speed. Found out I never looked at Bitcoin. Busted. I know we're an altcoin firm, so sometimes it's easy to ignore Bitcoin. Okay, not this in Bitcoin, but let's share screen here. Oh my God, I got a huge list of coins to look at. All right, so let's take them one at a time. Let me get the screen shared. And we will go through this, folks, in an orderly, proficient manner, because I know that you come here for technical analysis. By the way, if you happen to like the content and you like the fact that I say hello to you and I chart your coins and I tell you that the market's going up, thank goodness, before it actually does, fingers crossed, all right, that got to hit the like button, all right? Okay, Bitcoin. Now, 38.K is interesting to me. Okay. I think Bitcoin is going to go much higher after February 8th. So I do think that there's a possibility, all right, that once any geopolitical gymnastics are sorted out, either the diplomats sorted out or, the conflict happens and we don't want any conflict, but the conflict kind of comes and goes. Once the uncertainty is eliminated, I don't see any reason why Bitcoin can't go back to 49K. Now, I think that's a later in February phenomenon, which gives altcoins a lot of room to move. A lot of room to move. Okay. So I know people were asking for Sol. We got people on the stream who are just digging that. All right. Now, Sol. Okay, I have it marked here as NFTs and gaming. What's Sol doing right now? Nothing. Is that good or bad? I think it's good, right? You want to get these things when everybody is giving up, and it's pretty clear that people were buying the dip down here. I mean, that's it. So Aiken is saying, Bill, do you think with the Fed tapering that BTC and ETH will not reach an all-time high this year? Okay, so that's a good question. Somebody wants to hear a war story from equities and legacy. I can maybe think about doing that. Okay. I don't think all-time highs in Bitcoin and ETH are going to happen this year. I think all-time highs could happen in Sandbox and Decentraland, right? Possibly even Solana. Near, I would say, is a much higher probability of stuff like that. In other words, it's not the crypto market, it's a market of cryptos. Okay. So you want to make money in March. Okay. And if NFTs and Metaverse stretch out until May, great. So it's like, you maybe get involved now, not investment advice. You maybe get out in March, not investment advice, leave a moon bag, and then dump everything in late April. Not investment advice, right? Sell in May and go away is going to happen. What does that mean? That means you got to make money now, right? That means if there's money to be made and risk to be taken, use a stop, okay? But it's now when you got to get involved, right? Because if you can't get involved now and make money now, when are you going to make money? Okay, if there's other catalysts or problems or, you want to make money before the next Fed meeting because you don't know what's going to happen there. Okay, Rose looks pretty good. Okay, doesn't have that get up and go yet, But we've seen this, right? We saw it in sushi. We saw it in a bunch of coins where they just kind of sit around. Okay. They just sit around. Okay. RMRK, people are pumped about what's going on in the metaverse. Pretty much looking at RMRK every day. Surprised it didn't wind up in the deck. Okay. Again, fractionalized NFTs. Okay. Actually, I think I did have it in the deck. But again, look at how this is going, right? It's like, watch the candlesticks. It's like down by the dip, down by the dip, down by the dip, right? Down by the dip, go up, sell the rally, right? But then down by the dip. So sellers tried to sell, but people bought it. Then yesterday it was, down on the dip, buy it. And now people are willing to pay higher prices. Oh, by the way, it's above a trend line, right? And oh, by the way, the high in this thing was what? 52.60? Come on. You could put a stop below this trend line. Not investment advice, right? Okay, I know somebody's got VRA going out there. I don't want anybody to explode. Right? I love doing stuff for my friends on the stream, because I know we can get like 500, 600 people, maybe 1,000, right? So if the market goes up enough and we got like 4,000 people on the stream, that's when all the OGs can sell, because it's probably over at the point, right? Not that we don't want people to come on the stream. We do, but nobody comes on the stream now because nobody believes it, which is why the title of the stream is, I think I can, which is what, VRA is trying to do, right? It's just sitting here. Now, sometimes the bigger the base, the higher in this. Everybody gave up on this, and you're like, gee, I'm bored. Nothing's happening. Everything's up. How come my coin isn't? Well, sometimes these bull markets, everything doesn't move all at once. It may move all at once after February 8th if this market goes full FOMO. But again, from a risk-reward standpoint, right, you got to kind of look at this and be like, hey, this is closer to the bottom than the top. You don't want to be the guy that lets it go up 25% and then comes in and says, what should I do? Now, I'd be happy to give you an answer, because historically, as a technical analyst, I'd say it's a top. Everyone would ignore me. It would go down. Then they say, when do I get short? Right? I've seen this before. And then it's a bottom, hopefully. And everybody goes, everyone blows it off. And then it goes up 20%. And everyone says, okay, now when do I get long? You get long when you have good risk reward, right? So you can use a stop and risk a little to make a lot. Now, Moon River. Oh, God, the pain in this. The people who are in this must be in a lot of pain, okay? The thing about Moon River is, you got to look at this area around like 80 or 82, right? Every time it kind of goes up here, it kind of fails. It's like a stalemate, right? They wanted to buy it below 60, but nobody wants to pay higher prices. Interesting, right? So if you don't think it's going to go lower, right, it's easier to get involved and hope it goes through resistance, because you can put a stop down at lower levels. So I don't think this stuff is dead. I don't think this is dead at all. Okay. Somebody was asking for VeChain. That's another very pumped up group. I'm personally a big VeChain guy myself. Just kind of love the niche concept. Okay. Unfortunately, the market just loves to kill this thing. All right. So VeChain, again, trying to wake up. So let's try to focus in on it and see if we can just look at the chart from a close-up point of view, right? Okay, now, the first thing that should get your attention is this massive destruction over here, right? I mean, is anybody still long VeChain after that? VeChain did nothing but go down for 6 months, and then it lost half its value in 6 days. Okay, and what's going on here? Buy the dip. What's going on here? Buy the dip. What's going on here? Dip, dip, dip. These little hammer candlesticks. What's going to happen if this whole market ignites, right? You know, you want to be here early. Now, one case where synthetics was going up when the market was going down. I remember this. Like, synthetics was trying to go up as the market was getting hammered at the end. So synthetics goes from 2 to 280, right? So there was support at 2. Oh, no, this is Decentraland. Oh, my God. Well, anyway, while we're doing Decentraland, let's do Decentraland. Okay, so this is kind of classic, right? Everyone buys it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. And then there's a pause. And you're like, well, I missed it. I don't want to buy it when it's down. Okay. Well, I mean, on the way up, you got paid to buy it when it was down here. You got paid when it was down here, right? Every time this stuff goes down, whether it's for 1 day or 3 days, you get paid to buy it. Okay. If Facebook comes out with some kind of news, okay, Decentraland's high is 5. Currently, it's at 270, right? You could probably put a stop below 250 or even maybe like 240. And your upside is a new high. Now, synthetics, or at least your upside from a psychological point of view. In other words, I think you want to look at the market and say, okay, what happens if this makes a new high? Like, what coins could actually make a new high? And then you say to yourself, well, that's totally stupid. That could never happen, right? Wrong. Okay? If you look at a chart or you think it's like, oh, this can't make a new high, this could never happen. The market couldn't go straight up for a month because everyone got too bearish. That could never happen, right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right. So I'm drawing this in synthetics. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Oh, no. Is this bump and run? Ooh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. It depends how you draw it. Either that was bump and run or this is bump and run. Let's go to 4 hour on synthetics. I don't know, man. It hit 530 and it looks like people want it. And if it gets above 560, so let me just label this for people watching the video later. So if it's 560 in synthetics, right? Obviously, it's up way off the lows, right? Because down here, it was going to 0, of course, right? That's always the way it is in crypto. So I think you want to see synthetics above 560. Now, just be mindful that, you know, this has actually gone up a lot. So if you were hodling this, I think you can continue to hodl it, right? I don't know that you have to buy the first dip in this, although, you know, like I said, if you're dying to get involved, you can use this trend line and put the stop below 5 or 480, right? In other words, let's look at other support and resistance levels. Okay. You know, synthetics, I don't know, this like 540 level was pretty key. It kind of failed here a couple times, right? So it's got to really demonstrate. What I would do with this is, now that it's up, don't buy at resistance. Wait until it breaks out and then go with it. But again, if the tokenomics have changed, it was at 11 back when, right? Right? Okay, so someone's asking that why GG. I did notice that earlier, and I did see it. Okay, all this stuff that was like metaverse everything. Okay, so this is interesting in the sense that, it kind of goes up and then bag holders seem to want to get out. So this is this is a 4-hour chart right here. So here's your 4-hour chart. Okay, obviously, the first round at this regression band is getting sold like this one did. Okay, now with stuff like this, when you get a pullback, let's see. Okay, so sometimes you get the rally candlestick and the pullback at the same time. Let's go to 89-minute. So look at how this is behaving, right? So you've got this prior high over here, right? You got these highs. This is Yield Guild Games 89-minute. So if you're watching this a week from now, this may not be as relevant, but it can help you trade some of this stuff after it's broken out, right? In other words, not everything is on its lows. A lot of this metaverse stuff is taken off. And what you want to see is you want to see something like, yes, okay, this wicked up, but look what's happening. Look at this candle, okay? It managed to close above the old ceiling, and now there's buyers coming in seemingly on the floor, okay? Doesn't look like much. It might even look a little kind of, might not look good because you're like, oh, it wicked up and everyone's selling. All right, yeah, maybe, right? But maybe it's a breakout in the making, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know, but what you do know is that there's a license to speculate, right? Thoughts on D-Race. All right, let me get to that. I don't know if I did SYS. I know somebody was asking about that passionately. So let's take a look at SYS and see if we can get going on what's going on there. All right, so it looks like, this is a Web3 coin, and it looks like everybody is selling for some reason, right? And it's a little hard to find support, but that doesn't mean I can't try. Okay, so notice that every time it gets to this very outside the box trend line, that people are selling. So in some stuff, you have to be careful, right? So you want to pick some new winners, but you don't want to get stuck in something that's not going to make it. Now, I'm not saying that's the case here, but what I am saying is if you look at these candles and, sometimes you have buy the dip, but it also looks like you have people selling here, like every rally is getting sold. Now, what you look for is exhaustion, right? In other words, if you get a big green candle out of this, then you say, hey, they're out of ammo. They're out of ammo, right? But, you got this nasty looking double top up here. So you need to see this thing get back like above 85 cents before you can get too excited. That's how I would look at that coin. Okay, Elrond. Let's take a look at Elrond. Elrond. Okay, EGLD. Let's see what we got. What do we got for Elrond? Well, we got it up 4%. Okay, and we all know, anybody who likes Elrond knows that when this thing gets going, it's like ridiculous. So again, just like focus on what's going on with the candles, right? If you zoom in and look at this, right? You just have to look at what are they doing. Here. Sellers, everybody, all the bag holders got out here. This is what I mean by out of ammo, right? Everybody was out, everybody sold, right? And then everybody bought the dip for 4 days. And then today, they're like, oh, I missed it. Damn it. And there's the willingness to pay higher prices, right? We talked about this, right? So it's easy to buy the dip. The question is, the confirmation is, are people willing to pay higher prices? So with something like Elrond, which can go from, I don't know, 220 to 120 in like, I don't know, 15 days. I don't see any reason why this thing can't turn around and go from 150 to 250. I mean, why can't they just unwind? They go, oh, you know what? We just got too bearish. We got too bearish. And oh, by the way, there's a reason why this could go up, right? So I saw India in the house. Welcome. All right. Fear, horror, metaverse with dungeon land sale coming up. Interesting. Okay. Somebody's asking about the Curve governance token. Sometimes with Curve, I never know if I pull up the right symbol. Well, let's just look at Curve, see what I get. Okay, folks, same deal, right? Same deal. What is this formation? This is called green shoots. So we're officially naming this formation, right? You see this 4 or 5 green candles in a row. Okay, I think that's smart money, right? Honestly, I think it's like smart money going, hey, let's get involved. Okay, I had a boss who said that in Legacy. She's just like, when she would get bullish, she would just tell people, get involved, right? Now, I mean, on a percentage terms, this is already up a lot. But again, you might be like, well, it's up a lot. I can't buy it. Well, okay, look at this. This was at 540. Green shoots, right? It's like bull markets. They build slowly. Everyone's like, ooh, I'm afraid, Bitcoin's not moving, stocks, it's all these things. Okay. So if you get like a flash dip, right? Or you have to have a little bit of a position so you're involved. And if you actually do get a dip like in Sandbox or Decentraland, then, you can get busy. You can get busy. You got to stay active in markets like this, because I'm telling you right now, even if I'm wrong, like you may have noticed that I'm kind of talking like I don't give a shit if I'm wrong. The reason I don't give a shit if I'm wrong is because I think, based on what I think for this year, that this is like the now or never time to make money. That doesn't mean put the rent in the market or pay a $200 gas fee, but it does mean that, if you're gonna take a shot, this is like basketball. You shoot your shot. Okay. Now, Helium, very popular token, right? A lot of resistance at 28. Okay. Now, obviously, we know what Helium can do when it goes up. And we also know that the last time the Helium played games, once it got above 30, it found itself at 44. All right. Now, I think with Helium, I think the thing that you might draw is this. Let's see. Here's a trend line. Let's try right there. Okay. So interesting. If you draw the trend line a little bit outside the box, okay, you probably want to see Helium bounce back above 2710. So you'll know if the buyers are showing up if they pop it back above 2710, right? You want to see people willing to continue to pay higher prices. Obviously, everybody who missed the dip here couldn't get in fast enough. And frankly, I'm guessing that if we like zoned in on this to like 89 minutes, right? Helium's going to look like it's just going sideways, like it's kind of making a flag, right? It's making like a box. And a lot of times when you get these sideways consolidation, it's prepped to move higher. So it doesn't look like, oh my God, it's unbelievable, it's going to blow up any moment. But that's good, because you don't want to buy it when it's up 10%. You want to buy it when it's half asleep, right? And of course, that's not investment advice. Now, I think somebody was asking for Phantom, and I don't know if I covered it. I can't believe that. I may have forgotten it. Okay. So Phantom outperformed for a long time. Okay. So actually, I'm going to go to the 89-minute on Phantom because we're always talking about it. And let's just do some trend line art. Just take a look at some of the stuff that we could draw. See if there's anything worthwhile going on here. Okay, look at that. Okay, that's the 89-minute chart of Phantom. And look what we have. We have bump and run, possibly. Okay, so you have support at 205. So if you missed it at 190, okay, this could be a shot to get it at 205. Now, if you're wrong, well, I don't know. Maybe it goes back below 2, but why would it? I know TVL came down on Phantom. I looked at it right before the show. Okay. But again, what? DeFi is dead. You know, I don't know. Maybe the capital is going to go to near or somewhere else. But, you know, I mean, you could also make an argument that this is like a possible head and shoulders bottom formation. So people are like, oh, my coin's rallying. Okay. Well, good. That gives you an opportunity to get involved, right? Because, you know, I mean, if you lose money, if you can't make money now, then you're not making money. Okay. I'm just telling you right now, right? Sell in May and go away is real, folks. It's, you know, there's a lot of scary stuff out there. It's just people got too focused on it too quickly, right? Which creates an opportunity for crypto because most of the scary stuff has nothing to do with crypto, right? It has to do with, you know, legacy and other stuff. Okay. So if they smack Phantom, right, down to 204, right? Now, maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't. Just wait to see if it holds, and then you could try and evaluate what's going to go on from there. Now, Luna, okay, another heartbreaking coin. Right? Novogratz sold it to all the little people at 100, went out and got a tattoo, right? You can't be jealous of the man for being smart and making money because that's what we're all trying to do here. Okay. All right, so there's this head and shoulders top formation in Luna, which frankly just kind of scares the crap out of me. I know we talked about this being a good pickup in the 50s, but honestly, I want to see this thing. This thing's got to like take out like 54. There's like 61. I mean, part of me is a little worried because there was a formation like this in Solana. It took a long time, but it eventually played out. So I'm not hating on Luna. Just I would really like to see this thing like recover. Because like, look what's going on here. If you look at the 89-minute of Luna, okay, yeah, it goes up, but it doesn't go past resistance, right? There's resistance up at 54, and people are selling. So I know that sucks, right? Frankly, I know it sucks. But I don't know that, you know, with things like Solana breaking out, if you want to hang around in Luna and get killed or risk getting killed. Now, it could go to 20, but that could take a while. So Luna is mixed, right? Yes, it makes total sense to buy a massive 50% off sale. So if you just want to keep it simple, that's how I would do it, right? But you have to realize that your downside risk is probably like 20. Okay, Morpheus wants us to take a look at 1. Let me throw that in here. And folks, please hit the like button. Please. Or you can even leave a comment. I got told yesterday that can also be a great way on YouTube to get people pumped up. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's the graph. Okay. Also another multi-coin play. Okay. That's got an interesting chart. I'm looking at 1. Okay. That's Harmony. Okay. It's a smart contract platform. It's trying to go up. It's on support. So do you have to worry? I don't think so. Are you breathlessly anticipating to see whether or not bears are going to stop selling and they're out of ammo? Okay. So, I mean, you had this huge drop, right? You can't have something lose half of its value and then turn around and go straight back up. Okay. But obviously, people are buying dips down here because it's on support. You've just got a battle going on between bulls and bears, right? You just got that. Now, I know that's what's going on all day long, but you've got the battle at one particular point, right? At one particular point. When is Gala going back to 80 cents? I don't know. Okay. Algo and GRT super oversold. I agree. Okay. Sushi Nori says Scale Network. See if I can get a chart on Scale. Okay. OG says, thank you. Lots of exciting upcoming catalysts for Helium. Okay. So fundamental narratives, if you can get a fundamental narrative, okay, on top of a decent chart point. Okay. So Scale kind of wrecked. Let me see if I can adjust the scale so we can see what's happening here. All right. So probably a lot of pain in this market, obviously, right? Okay. The thing is, the last couple times that it went down to these linear regression bands, I don't know, it held. Hope is not a tactic. And I guess if they give up, it can go down to 7 cents. But I mean, this to me, when you see this, I mean, this is down every day. And this is down most days. It's like 4 green days since the end of the year. I mean, if this has any fundamental value to it, somebody should come in and buy it. Now, again, what do you want to see? Okay. You want to see people willing to pay higher prices. So if you're looking at Scale and you're looking at the 4-hour, okay, now, it's not good or bad, right? In other words, it's making kind of like a flag formation, right? So bears are still trying to press it down, all right? But you want to see it bounce off that, I think, right? You want to see buyers come in and be like, hey, I'm willing to pay higher prices. If people are not willing to pay higher prices, then capital may be allocated somewhere else, right? The last thing you want, I'm not hating on this, but I'm saying, deep inside, like you tune in for analysis, you watch YouTube. When you watch price action, you got to ask yourself, are people willing to pay higher prices for the coin that I'm looking at, right? And if you think the answer is no, then there may be other coins where you could put your money where people are willing to pay higher prices. Because if you got a 30-day uptrend, you don't want to sit somewhere and get, and not participate. So, it's kind of like stay tuned for that one, right? Bigger picture, everybody has got some sort of bag undoubtedly from this whole awful thing, unless you manage to get like totally in cash. Okay, so this is Filecoin, right? Everybody kind of FOMOs in yesterday. So let's go to like a 4-hour on Filecoin, right? The big question is, will former resistance become support? Sometimes you have to buy stuff when it doesn't look good, or you can just wait and see what happens, right? In other words, you want to see something green right there. Let them press it, but you want to see something green so you know that something has changed, right? Show me something has changed. Show me people willing to pay higher prices. All right. Hello from Toronto. Goldfinch chart. I don't think I have one yet. And of course, Flipped Burger reminds everybody, don't forget to hit the like button. Okay, folks, that's going to kind of wrap it up for today. All right. If it's green shoots and it's a budding bull market, make sure you participate. That probably means you got to have a small position. Okay. Not the rent, a small position, and be willing to add if you get the dip. NFTs, Metaverse, licensed to speculate. Solana is telling you what's going to happen. Okay. All right, Ian, I appreciate that. Manchester. That's it for today, folks. This is your host, Bill Noble. I will be here tomorrow. We will see you then.